Magandang gabi mga kaibigan, mga kapatid at mga kababayan. Isa na naman pong isyu ang ating tatalakayin ngayong gabi. Alam po ninyo, matagal na po nating nais talakayin ito. Bagamat ang relevance nito ay hindi sa ngayong panahon ng politika. Pero ito po ay isang usapin na hindi napapag-ukulan ng pansin. Ngunit para sa atin po, napakahalaga po ito. Kamakailan lamang may nakausap po tayo na isang opisyal ng pamahalaan. Ito po ay nasa judiciary. Ang kwento po, napag-usapan yung retirement at ang sinasabi po, at ito ay bilang konfirmasyon na rin sa isyong ito. Ang sabi niya, kapag nag-retire daw, ang kanyang tatanggapin, pag nag-retire siya at the age of 65, ang kanyang tatanggaping pension would be 100% of his monthly salary, which by the time that he would be retiring, most likely, mga abutin na siya ng more than 100,000 monthly. And try to imagine it. He would be receiving that whole monthly salary for life, even if he is no longer working with the government. So it means that kapag nag-retire ang isang government official, kahit dahil retire na po siya, hindi na siya, he does no longer rendering services, and yet he would still be receiving for life his monthly salary as if he would be still working or he is still working. So try to imagine it. Kung sweldo siya by the time of his retirement, sabihin na natin sumweldo siya ng 120 or 150,000. So after he retires, he would still be receiving that amount monthly for life. At kung mabubuhay halimbawa itong government official na ito, ang sabihin na natin until the age of 80 or 85, and he would be retiring at age 65, then he would be receiving the same salary for 20 years without actually rendering service to the government anymore. And try to imagine it if we have this 1 million government employees receiving the full monthly salary as their retirement pension. So ano po ang implication nito? Government is paying a lot of people for life without them anymore rendering services to the government. At bakit pa ito nangyayari? Because definitely there is a law to that effect passed by the legislature. Compared to the private sector who are receiving pension from the SSS, kanila pong natatanggap minimum of 3,000, Pinakamalaki na po siguro yung 7,000. And yet, yung pera na ginagastos ng gobyerno para sa mga government retirees na malalaki, ang bulk po nito ay galing sa buhis, sa taxes ng mga manggagawa na nagtatrabaho sa pribadong sektor. So, ano po ang nakikita natin dito? Makikita po talaga natin na ginagawa ng mga empleyado ng gobyerno by way of law, of a law, passed or enacted by Congress, na ginagawang milking cow ang ating pamahalaan. At yan po ay bukod pa sa katotohanan na ang mga empleyado sa gobyerno, karamihan po, hindi naman lahat, karamihan po sa mga empleyado ng gobyerno are not rendering services as expected of them. Sa lahat po yan, sa halos lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno. Ito po ang katotohanan. Of course, aside from corruption which they have committed in the performance of duties. So, ito po yung mga reforms na gusto po nating mapag-ukulan ng pansin. Sapagkat nasisit aside po ito. Kailangan po magkaroon ng substantial changes in terms of laws enacted by Congress to repeal this kind of discriminatory laws between the public servants and the private sector employees. Of course, ang sinasabi po, ang rasyonale ng mga batas na ito, to attract employees to the government service instead of our citizens giving priority to serve in the private sectors. Kaya nilalakihan po ang sweldo ng ating kababayan para dito na po sila sa gobyerno pumasok instead na kung saan pa o mag-abroad pa. So maganda po ang intensyon. Ngunit sa actual pong application ng batas, napakalaki po ng diskriminasyon between the private and the government employees. Sa ngayon po, malalaki na po ang sweldo ng nasa gobyerno compared to the private sector. Dati po, totoo yung sinasabi, kaya nga nilakihan. But this time, lalo na hindi naman nagko-comply with the minimum wage or dito mga karamihan sa private sectors, ang mga empleyado po natin dito napapabayaan compared to those working with the government. Halimbawa po dyan, sa private sector, yung mga pangkaraniwang employees, lalo na ng medyo mga small, medium industries, hindi po nakakatanggap ng 13 month. Pero sa gobyerno po, month of June, meron silang monthly, meron silang 1 month bonus. Pagdating po ng December, another 1 month bonus. Samantalang sa private sector, hindi pa na ibibigay yung mandatory 13-month pay bonus. So, pag nag-retire po itong nasa private sector, ang makukuhang pension lamang 3,000, average of 5,000. Bihira yung 7,000. Assuming. Pero sa public po, pinakamaliit yung 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 100,000. Pagdating po sa mga ranking officers. And worse pa nga po, nag-retired ka na, kukunin ka pang consultant. Ilalagay ka pa sa mga iba't ibang position na sumisweldo pa rin po ng malalaki. So, ang ibig po nating sabihin dito, dapat po ito tinitingnan. Isa po dapat ito sa sinusulong natin na pagbabago sa saligang batas. Nabanggit na po natin ito sa mga nakaraang vlog po natin. Pero inuulit po natin upang ang isyong ito ay hindi mabaliwala. We are arousing the interest of the public towards this meaningful changes in the government service. Inuulit po natin ano po yung ating pinapanukala dito. Ang sinasabi po natin, dapat mapalagay po sa saligang batas na wala pong sino man, no one shall be allowed to render services in the government in whatever capacity for more than 20 years or upon reaching the age of 40-year-old, whichever comes first. Bakit po? Sapagkat ang sinasabi po natin, kung isang empleyado pumasok sa gobyerno at the age 20, pagdating po niya ng 40 years, 20 years in service siya, dapat he should go. He must go by retiring from the service. Or assuming he served in whatever capacity from different government, from different branches of the government, konsehal, kapitan, mayor, gobernador, naging congressman pa. Upon accumulating 20 years of service in the government, he must also retire. He must also retire. Bakit po? Para po, una, makapasok yung mga young blood in the government service. Mapalitan, mapasukan po ng bagong mga mas bata with more managerial skill, with more vigor, with more idealism. So, mas malaki po ang makukuha ng gobyerno in terms of services from this young blood, from the youth who are more idealistic, more energetic, and more skillful compared to government employees. Ang mga edad na po ay more than 40-year-old. Pangalawa po, there would be less corruption because the syndicate and the government service, which is acquired by the long years in service, would be eliminated. Bakit po? Sapagkat yung mga sindikato sa gobyerno, nakukuha po, na-establish po yan ng mga empleyado na dahil sa sobrang tagal sa kanilang posisyon, they're able to make linkages with different offices. Nagkakaroon po dyan ng bigayan from the rank at the top management level. Balatuhan po. Samantalang, kung after 20 years po, na-establish lang nila yan after 20 years in service. From day 1 to 20 years in service, medyo hindi po sila makakapag-establish ng sindikato. So, may iwasan po yung corruption. Yan po ang isa sa pinakamahalagang aspeto dito sa pagbabago na nais nating ipatupad. Ngayon, ang tanong po, so from age 40, magpipensyon na po? Hindi. Dapat po, pag nag-retire ang isang empleyado at age 40, wala po siyang matatanggap na pension. Sa halip, ang kanya pong matatanggap ay separation pay. For instance, 1 month salary or even 2 months salary per year of service. Ibigay po sa kanya ng lump sum yan para mainipag-negosyo niya. Para after 40 years, he could establish his own business. Di na siya aasa sa gobyerno ng kanyang ikabubuhay. At age 40 to age 60, another 20 years doing business. Baka mapaganda pa po ang buhay niya. Saan siya kukuha ng kapital? Dito po sa separation pay. Pwede po siyang bigyan ng sapat na puhunan. Halimbawa po, 2 to 3 months salary of service per year of service. Provided the same would not be less than 1 million pesos na matatanggap po niya as lump sum. Pwede po niyang investan sa mga GOCC o sa mga government-owned and controlled corporation which are income generating. papamiliin po siya na pwede niyang i-invest or he can do business with the assistance of course, the government in terms of conducive business environment. So, pero wala na po sa pension for life. So, hindi po, mas makakatipid po ang gobyerno sa ganitong approach. Kaysa naman patuloy na pasweldohin yung mga empleyado na yan habang buhay kahit hindi na sila nagtatrabaho in terms of retirement pension. At madidevelop pa po natin yung kultura of the business acumen na magkaroon po ng mindsetting ng mga Pilipino ay maging businessmen at the right time. Paano po yung mga kasalukuyan? Well, transition po with respect to the incumbent public officers. Ito po ang magsasabi mga transitory, yung transition period. Well, yung mga nasa gobyerno na at the time that the law to this effect would be approved, would be allowed to retire at age 65 under the old pension plan. But with respect to the newcomers in the government, they would start with a new law where it would be made known to them right at the start that they would be only working with the government for not more than 20 years in service in whatever capacity, and or upon reaching at the age of 40, whichever comes first, it should be made known to them. At dapat yung separation pay na yan pagplanuhan at pagbabadgetan ng gobyerno at planuhin na rin kasama po dito sa package na to kung saan pwede mag-invest ang mga retirees natin at the age of 40. Mag-invest as stockholders sa mga government-owned and controlled corporations. This should be made priorities as an investors of the said JOCC. Maring ito pong pananaw na to is revolutionary in the sense na bago po abrupt changes in the government service. Pero hindi naman po kumbaga hindi naman po derogatory lalo na po sa mga existing o sa mga incumbent public officers. Because as we have said, this should be allowed. Those who are in the government service already, upon the approval of the law to this effect, should be allowed to retire under the old pension law, effective when they entered the government service. This new law that we are proposing would only be applicable upon those people entering the government service after this law has been approved. So hindi po negatively affected itong mga kasalukuyang empleyado. Itong mga empleyado na pumasok sa gobyerno, government service, bago pa maaprubahan ang batas na ito. mas makakatipid po tayo kaysa iminti na yung kasalukuyang retirement scheme na kung saan paswisilduhin mo 100% ng kanilang salary at the time they are retiring for life, even if they are no longer actually rendering service to the government. Bukod pa, at ito naman sa private sectors, gawan din po natin ng similar schemes with the participation of their employers. Na ganun din po, upon reaching the age of 40 or rendering 20 years of service in the company, this should also be allowed. Upon reaching at the age of 40 or rendering service in the company for 20 years, whichever comes first, then they should be allowed to go for them to be able to do business of their own. So, bigyan din po sila ng separation pay. Itong separation pay, nagtutulungan po ito, laplanuhin po ito ng SSS at ng employer kung paano na upon retiring of their employees, they could also avail of the substantial capital for them to be able to do business after retiring from their work. Ganon din po sa private sector. Ang SSS hindi na magpapapensyon. Bagkus paghandaan ng SSS na pag nag-retire itong tao na to, makakakuha siya ng lump sum with not less than 1 million. Or for instance, 3 months salary per year of service. Whichever is higher. Yung mga kahintulan na scheme. Nang sa ganun po mawala yung discrimination between the employees in the government and in the private sector. Sapagkat napaka-unfair po na napakaganda yung pribilehiyo sa government service at napakapangit yung sa pribadong sektor. Gayong ang pera ng gobyerno, ang malaking bahagi nito na siyang ipinaswisweldo bilang pensyon ay galing po sa mga pribadong sektor in terms of taxes they are paying to the government. So, tingnan po natin yung aspetong ito. Kailangan po, of course, this is not only a congressional act. This is more of constitutional amendment para po hindi na ito ma-repeal ng legislature. Itong ganito pong scheme. Ulit-ulit po natin itong sinasabi. We are airing this issue for the public to be aware about it. Hindi po ito napapag-usapan. Pero dapat po ito ay dapat po maging bukas ang ating mambabatas tungkol po sa isyong ito. Matagal po, mahirap i-implement ito, admittedly. Mukhang revolutionary kasi ang konsepto. in relation to our traditional system. Pero naniniwala po tayo na kung ito po ay ma-install, itong ganitong sistema, malaki pong pagbabago ang maidudulot nito sa ating ending government service as well as even in the private sector. So yan po ang ating pinananawagan na sana po mapag-ukulan ng pansin ito. Nakakapanghinayang nga po na itong ongoing constitutional amendment was made limited to the economic provisions. Sa halip na isulong ang mas substantial amendments in the Constitution in terms of shifting from presidential to parliamentary type or federalism, and at the same time injecting this government service reform. Bakit po gusto natin itong mailagay sa saligang batas? Sapagkat kung ito po ay ipaubaya sa mga mambabatas sa Kongreso, most likely po hindi po ito ma-implement. Hindi po ito ma-implement. O kung ma-implement man, madali po nilang baguhin para bumalik sa dating sistema. Samantalang po kung ito ay constitutional, through constitutional amendment, hindi po ito marirepeal ng Kongreso. Napakaliit lang po. Isang sentence lang po ito. Isang section. Providing that no one shall be allowed to render services in the government in whatever capacity for more than accumulative years, and or no one be allowed to render services in the government beyond 40-year-old, whichever comes first. Yan lang po ang constitutional provision. Bahala na po ang Congress na magbigay ng detalye tungkol po sa sinabi natin mga separation, pay, yung tulong sa pag nag-retire sila, magkapag-negosyo sila, yung investment nila sa GOCC. It will be detailed in the law for the purpose. But in so far as the Constitution is concerned, isang section lang po yan na napaka-iksi, which can be drafted easily but very, very meaningful. So, muli po, inaasahan po natin ito at paulit-ulit po natin itong ipararating sa mga kinaukulan at sambayanan. Ito pong issue na ito ay ma-integrate, magpasama po sa mga issues na ating ipinaalam sa sambayanan upang kaipala ay maisama sa mga proposal, sa mga panukala ng pagbabago sa ating pamahalaan. Muli, magandang gabi at maraming salamat po. We invite everyone na subscribe po ang ating YouTube channel as a token of support. Ang ating paninindigan sa napapanahong isyu ng lipunan. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang gabi.